Hey guys, it's Miss Keenum, and today we're going to talk about how to multiply numbers using the area model method. Okay, so just like we did previously with the partial products method, we're going to break the area model method down into 3 steps. And those 3 steps are very similar to the partial products method. I'm first going to put my problem in expanded form. Then I'm going to draw my model and multiply the numbers. And then lastly, I'm going to add the products to get the final answer. Okay, so my first problem is 124 times 3. I'm going to put this problem in expanded form. Remember to do that. I'll look at the place value of my numbers, and I notice that 124 has a hundredth place value, a tens place value, and a ones place value, which is what the 4 is. So I'm going to break that up as 100 plus 20 plus 4. And then I'm going to multiply that times the 3. I don't have to expand my 3 because honestly, there's just nothing there to expand. It's only in the ones place. Remember here in the parentheses, I can expand 124 in as many increments as I want, as long as the sum, or when I add all the numbers up, it equals 124. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my model. And so an area model is made up of boxes, or it's kind of like a grid. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to see where I have a 3. That's the only number there. So I'm going to put a 3 here. Then I'm going to draw a box, or really a rectangle, a long rectangle. And then on top of my rectangle, to make a grid, I'm going to write my numbers 100, 20, and 4. So these numbers are what I had in my expanded form right here. Okay, then I'm going to break my box with lines between each number, like where the plus sign is, that's where you're going to put your line. And now I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply just like I did with my partial products, the numbers 3 times 100, 3 times 100, 3 times 20, and 3 times 4. So we're doing exactly what we did in the partial products video, but this one's almost a little bit easier to see, I think. Remember, we did 3 times 100, 3 times 20, and 3 times 4. See how we've done that right here. Now we're going to multiply this out. So 3 times 100, remember 3 times 1 is 3. Add my 2 zeros to give me 300. 3 times 20, 3 times 2 is 6, and add a 0 to give me 60. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Then I add those numbers up when I add my product. So all the answers that I got in my boxes is what I'm going to add here. So 300 plus 60 plus 12. So when I add that up, get a 2, 7, 3. So my answer is 372. Right there, 372. So see how I did pretty much exactly what I did yesterday in the partial products method, but it's a little easier to see using this form, using the area model method. Okay, so let's move on. So our next problem is 56 times 44. Okay, so once again, I'm going to put this in expanded form. And notice both the 56 and the 44 can be put in expanded form. So I'm going to say 50 plus 6 times 40 plus 4 equals. Then I'm going to draw my model. So you notice on this one, I have 2 I have two sections or two chunks of numbers with 2 in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write my 50 and my 6. And I'm going to draw a box or my area model. Okay, 50 times 6. Then on top, I'm going to do my 40, or write my 40 and my 4, and then draw my line. Okay. So in this method, just like we did previously, we're going to say 50 times 40 and 50 times 4. So 50 times 40 and 50 times 4. Okay. And then in the bottom, we're going to multiply the next numbers. So now I'm going to have 60 times 40. 6 times 40 and 6 times 4. So 6 times 40 and 6 times 4. Okay. Now I'm going to solve these. I'm going to multiply and solve these. So 50 times 40, remember the easiest way to do that is say 5 times 4 is 20 and add 2 zeros. Then 50 times 4, once again, 5 times 4 is 20 and add a 0. And notice the difference here. 50 times 4 is 200, whereas 50 times 40 is 2,000. Notice the extra 0. Then I have 6 times 4 is 24. Add my 0 to give me 240. And then 6 times 4 is just 24. I have no zeros to add in that one. Okay. Then my last step is to add the product. So I'm going to add the answers that I got, or the numbers, the answers in the box. So 2,000 plus 200 plus 240 plus 24. Okay, when I add that up, I get 4, 6, 4, and 2. So my answer is 2,464. Or right here, 2,464. Okay, so we're going to move on and we're going to do one more problem. So this problem, I wanted to show you how you would do it, probably on how you would get the problem on an assignment. It's not going to be broken down into those steps for you. So the first thing we can do is go ahead and put 27 in extended form. So we know that the expanded form of 27 is 20 plus 7. So I can go ahead and I can draw my area model with the 20 plus 7. Okay. Then I'm going to put my 12 in expanded form. And remember, that's going to be 10 and 2. Draw my line down. So that's how I've created my area model. Now I'm going to say 20 times 10 is 200. 2 times 1 is 2, and add my 2 zeros. 20 times 2 is going to be 40. 2 times 2 is 4, and add a 0. 7 times 10 is 70. Or you can say 7 times 1 is 7, and add a 0. Then finally, 7 times 2 is 14. Then I add up all these, all the answers I got, the products. 200 plus 40 plus 70 plus 14. I add that up. That's 4. 7 plus 4 is 11. Add one more, that's 12. So I get the answer 324. So this last problem was just to show you how you could work this problem out without breaking it into steps. But to begin with, I would always break the problem into steps to make sure you really understand what you're doing. So thanks for listening today, and hopefully we'll have some videos in the future on division.